where mine is through the roof. My unfavorable rating here is like 9%. So we stand a really good chance of beating him in the primary.
So you have name ID because you represent the district. What percentage of CD2 do you represent in the House? Like 25%? Just give me
about 30%.
All right, so that's a pretty good start. So you have name ID there, right. And how are you going to be able to raise? Are you going to be able to raise enough money here to compete? Because he'll be able to. He's a sitting congressman. He'll be able to raise money. So you're going to get outspent. But can you raise enough money, you think, to be competitive in this race?
We have been outspent in every race that we've ever been in. Karl Rove sends somebody against me, even in the Texas House. Karl Rove and the Associated Republicans of Texas send somebody against me every year. I've always been outspent by a factor of 3 in every single race that I've ever been in. Mm-hmm. Yet we always win with 65, 66% of the vote.
So when you're out there campaigning against Crenshaw, what is the number one thing you're telling people that is going to persuade them to go your way?
The number one thing that I'm hearing from them is why they want to support me is because of my strong stance for Donald Trump. I'm not an equivocator. I'm not a compromiser. I'm a fighter. And Donald Trump's a fighter. And Dan Crenshaw is not. I respect him like anything for what he's done for us for his military career, but he's equivocated. He's become a squish in Washington, D.C. And anyone that points out the issues of the deep state, he fights them. Why is it that he fights the Freedom Caucus people more than he fights Democrats? He hates conservatives like Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows. He's terrible.
So, but since Trump's been there, Crenshaw has been a reliable vote for Johnson. Like, he's not voted against anything that Trump wanted. He was there for the big, beautiful bill. He's there for everything. So you got to go back to 2018 when Biden was there with certain things. How do you reconcile that, Steve?
It was just 2 years ago when he came to the Woodlands and said he was going to get behind the Senate deal, bipartisan deal, to allow 5,000 people into our country a day. Mm-hmm. So no, he's not been reliable by any stretch of imagination. He's been reliable basically for the past 7 months since Trump's been in office. Mm-hmm. And he got Trump religion. So he went from Trump derangement syndrome to being on the Trump train simply because it was the expedient thing to do. And everyone gets that.
Mm-hmm. How is the Paxton Cornyn race going to affect the Crenshaw-Toth race?
I don't think it's going to have a great deal of effect. I mean, at the end of the day, this is the biggest Republican county in the state of Texas. So when Cruz won and Trump won, we were 40% of their margin of victory. This is a really strong, powerful county. They're going to turn out in big numbers for me. Even down in Harris County, which that's 44.5% of Congressional District 2, his unfavorables there are above 43%.
All right, Steve, people want to follow your campaign. They want to get involved. They want to know what's going on. How do they follow you, Steve? Where do they go?
SteveTothForCongress.com. Steve, TOTH for Congress.com, all spelled out.
I'll tell you what, you can't get easier than that. Steve Toth for Congress. How about what's your social media handle?
Steve Toth for Texas.
All right, at Steve Toth for Texas. Steve, thanks for being with us. Sounds like you got a real shot in this race.
We absolutely do. Thanks, John. You have a great day, buddy.
All right, you have one too. Alfredo Ortiz next. Plus your calls, 848-JOHN.